This one is, I think this is also it. Here's the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. This one's got a lot of weird stuff in it. Abolish the police department. See, this sign here, this picture has a sign that says tax Amazon. Pass the Amazon tax. So they're like worried about Amazon being a monopoly too. Like that's a big thing going on right now, even though that has nothing to do with police brutality. It's more about coronavirus and Amazon's like getting rich off of the fiasco. So they're talking about black doctors. Black people or like men are more likely to talk with black doctors about health problems and seek invasive screenings like diabetes, cholesterol. Among those assigned to black doctors screenings were higher. So people are actually getting screened if they have a black doctor for some reason. Does that include white people? You could reduce cardiovascular mortality by 16 deaths per 100,000 people per year. 19% of the black-white gap in cardiovascular-related deaths. I didn't know this was a problem at all. I don't hear about black people having heart attacks. Native American history, reallocating what? Okay, Seattle's kind of gone off the deep end, I think. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Businesses being asked to pay a fee to operate within CHAZ. This would amount to a crime of extortion. See, I was talking to my friend today about... Remember when Glenn Beck wanted to have his own, like, city-state kind of a thing? He wanted to make, like, secede from the United States. And Texas has been trying to secede from the United States for a long time. This is kind of like what this is. Donald Trump told Governor Jay Inslee and Durkin if they didn't take back the city now, he would. Okay, so I don't know who Durkin is. That's what I mean when I don't know much about this. I know there was a thing with this guy, Jacob Frey. He's the mayor of Minneapolis, and that he got booed for saying he wouldn't completely defund the police. This is walk of shame. It gets very Game of Thrones like, shame, shame. This isn't the only video I've seen of him walking away either. There was another one in a different place. Where was it? Maybe it's just a different camera angle. He seems like a pretty reasonable guy, but he doesn't want to completely defund the police. Anyway, let's move off Seattle for a bit. These are the 5 demands of the American people for the Black Lives Matter movement. See, I don't really like Black Lives Matter being like the main force behind all this, because that makes it seem like it's a black versus white thing. I think it's a citizen versus police thing. I mean, it is black people that police are brutalizing more, I guess. It's not like we want everybody brutalized equally. We don't want anybody being brutalized. Police shouldn't have the ability to do that. They're supposed to be the ones protecting everybody, held to a higher standard and all that. Anyway, they got create an independent inspector body to investigate police misconduct. That's great, but how are you gonna know that it's gonna be independent and it's not got any ties to police unions or the Fraternal Order of Police, people that used to be cops? Like, you want people with experience with the police force to be on this body that investigate them, right? I'd say no. You don't want anything to do with the police. Maybe like somebody on a military, like the Code of Military Justice type people that like they're a separate thing and they have like war crimes for people that don't follow the... I forget what it's called. Who would be good for being on this independent body though? People that have like a really good internal affairs career, maybe? People that like defense lawyers are... Yeah, maybe defense lawyers. I don't know. Anyway, create a requirement for states to establish board certification with minimum education and training requirements. So, what are you talking about? Like board certified police officers? Yeah, like right now, what is it? Like 6-hour training course or something that they teach cops how to be a cop? I mean, then you go through the police academy, but then there's like, maybe 6 months. I don't remember. It's like something like that. It's not, you don't have to spend a lot of time educating yourself on how to... It's not just knowing how to be a police officer. It's like knowing the laws. Like, there's a lot of laws you got to know, and then like how to legally interact with the public and not to overstep your bounds and follow your limitations and stuff like that. Number 3 is refocus police resources on training, de-escalation, and community building. So they're not wanting to get rid of police altogether. They want to like keep the police we have and like focus on train them. And they already have all this stuff. We tried it. I don't have coronavirus. I was weed eating earlier. Let me put this on. Adopt the absolute necessity doctrine for lethal force. Now this one I'm really interested in because this is like, in England they don't have guns. Police have nightsticks and do they have tasers and pepper spray? I guess they have that kind of stuff. But I would have it so that maybe the police have a shotgun that they keep in the trunk of their car, and then they only can use it if they've been shot at already. And then they call in. If they get shot at, they take cover, get out the shotgun out of the back of the car. Maybe you'd have one guy that's like a firearms expert, and he knows not to like just go blasting. They can keep cover fire while they get the shotgun out. And that's only if you've been shot at first. I mean, I've seen remember that video where that white guy, he had headphones on, and the police came in the back and he wasn't answering their questions because he couldn't hear him, and they just shot him in the back of the head and killed him. I need to make a montage video of like cops killing white guys so that black people see that it's not just Black Lives Matter. It's about cops versus civilians. And I also need to make like a mom and dad news channel because my mom and dad, they only watch Fox. All of these things that happen, they have no idea about it because Fox won't show them. So I need to just like constantly stream to my parents a bunch of clips of police brutality because they're still pro-cop. I don't understand it. Why is Fox even pro-cop? That's not specifically a conservative issue. I mean, I guess killing black people that usually vote Democrat would be... Is that their strategy? They just want to kill all the blacks so that they don't vote for Democrats and conservatives? Is that why conservatives like cops? I think we just solved a lot of problems. That's what it is. They're all just trying to keep Trump in power. Holy shit. Like these rubber bullets they're using now, maybe that's what the cops should be using all the time. Even though a lot of this brutality and stuff, it's not people shooting people. I mean, a lot of it is. They shoot a lot of people that are unarmed running away and jumping over fences and things. I mean, if you're a cop, right? If somebody, like, say somebody stole something and they run away, do you shoot them over that? Over material possessions? You don't take somebody's life over something that might cost $50. You try to catch them, but you don't shoot them in the leg. I mean, I guess you could shoot them in the leg. Not if there's people around, or you gotta like have a good backing. You can't just start shooting in the middle of a crowded area. What am I saying here? I don't know. Cops shouldn't have guns. If they can do it in England, they can do it here. The only problem is that here, see, in England nobody has guns, so it's okay for the police not to have guns. But here, everybody else has guns, so the police have to have guns just to kind of meet with equal force. And then they're always worried about the police or the citizens because they're always beating the shit out of the citizens. Since the citizens have guns, the police think they need to shoot everybody because it's kill or be killed because they've made it. They started the shit by brutalizing everybody, and now everybody's scared of cops. Like, especially now, like if you're pulled over on the side of the road and the cop might think you're Antifa, they could just vanish you. And you'd have no trial. You get sent off to Guantanamo Bay or something and nobody ever see you again. So your best option is just shoot the cop and make a run for it, other than just disappearing if they think you're Antifa or something. So we're in a pretty bad spot right now, but what would you do if you have a doctrine for absolute necessity of force? Like anytime a cop shoots his gun and like nobody shot at him first, he should be like, that's the same as a citizen pulling out a gun and just shooting it at somebody. That's assault with a deadly weapon, I guess, is what cops should be charged with the crimes that they're doing. Yeah, I mean, that seems fair. If they're doing crimes, charge them with the crimes they're doing. That's what most of these laws would do. Codify into law the requirement for police to have positive control over the evidence chain of custody. This one, I don't know what it means. Like, evidence chain, the evidence they're talking about, I assume would be like their dash cams or their body cam footage. Why would you want the police to have positive control over it? I would want it to like automatically upload to a cloud where they don't have any control over it, where they can't hide it and delete it and say their camera malfunction, which they always do. Why would you want to make it a requirement for them to have positive control over the chain of custody? I don't know what that means. Black Lives Matter, do y'all know what y'all mean? Let me know. Somebody from Black Lives Matter. Why do you want the police to have control over the evidence? Anyway, that's it for the demands. T2 out! Joseph was saying like he didn't have my videos just like ended. So I gotta say something at the end of my videos so he knows when it's over.